Imagine waking up in Ethiopia, thousands of miles from Korea, then receiving an order to cross the world and fight for people you've never met. Why would Ethiopia send its soldiers into one of the bloodiest wars of the 20th century? In June 1950, North Korean forces invaded South Korea. Within days, the peninsula was engulfed in war. The United Nations called on countries around the world to help defend South Korea.
And then came an answer few people expected. From Ethiopia. Ethiopia.
Emperor Haile Selassie decided Ethiopia would send soldiers to Korea.
Act now to restore international peace.
They were members of the elite Kagnew Battalion, soldiers chosen for a mission thousands of miles from home.
They left behind mothers, wives, children, and everything familiar, not knowing what waited for them.
They traveled an extraordinary distance to reach a country most of them had never seen. Then they finally arrived. Korea was nothing like home. And there was another enemy waiting for them. The freezing Korean winter. But the Kagnew soldiers didn't come to Korea as spectators. They came to fight. They fought through mountains, darkness, artillery, and relentless enemy attacks.
Hold this position!
The fighting was brutal. But the Ethiopians kept moving forward. And here's what makes their story remarkable. According to historical accounts, the Kagnew Battalion did not lose a battle during its combat deployments.
Ethiopia eventually sent 3 battalions during the war, rotating fresh soldiers into the conflict.
But courage did not make them invincible. Ethiopia paid a terrible price. 121 Ethiopian soldiers were killed, and 536 were wounded. Think about that. They were fighting thousands of miles from their families, for people who had once been complete strangers. In 1953, the guns finally fell silent. The Korean War had ended, but Ethiopia's connection with Korea was only beginning.
South Korea never forgot the African soldiers who had crossed the world to defend it.
What began on a battlefield eventually became a lasting relationship between Ethiopia and South Korea. But ask yourself, how many people today even know that African soldiers once fought and died for Korea? They came from Africa, they fought in Asia, and their sacrifice became part of Korea's history. This is the history they never taught us. Subscribe to HISTORYHUB.